Hello, I'm Josh Lush. I'm here with Scott Burgess. We're here to talk about Illinois basketball. We both of us have an interest in college basketball and Fighting Illini basketball in general, and we just wanted to post this and mainly put it up for discussion purposes. We like, feel like we know quite a bit about Illinois basketball and like to talk about it. And we're here just to share our thoughts and our opinions. And these are our thoughts and opinions. There's no, we're not saying we know everything.
We're not official.
We're not official. We're just two guys who like to talk college basketball. So
if you guys have any comments, please comment on our page and ask us questions for our next show, and we'll be happy to answer them for you.
All right, we're gonna try and keep it to about under 15 minutes, and so we'll get going here. Scott, here to start out with, we'll talk a little bit about the Illinois record, 13-5, dropped past 2 games on the road.
Right.
Tough road stretch for Illinois. And how many times have they gone up to Penn State and played 1-2 point games?
Right.
I
mean, Penn State's been a team that they've struggled with all along. Even the great team had struggled at Penn State. I don't think this is a great team personally, but I think it could be a good team. And struggling at Penn State's, it's a problem, but it's not the end of the world. And the Wisconsin loss, to me, wasn't a shock because they've always struggled at Wisconsin.
Everybody struggles at Wisconsin.
Right.
Bo Ryan's lost 9 games there or something like that in 10 years.
Right.
10 years that he's been there, he's lost 9 home games. I mean,
Right.
That's ridiculous. And Penn State, upset Michigan State earlier in the week.
Right.
And we said, oh, big shocker, Michigan State's been upset a few times this year. But it's still Michigan State, you know what
Right.
I mean? And Penn State beat them. And Penn State went on the road and played Ohio State the next day.
They played them very
tough. They were up 3 at halftime or something like
Yeah.
that, and just a very tough team. So 13-5 tonight. Illinois got a showdown with Michigan State at Assembly Hall, and then Ohio State on Saturday, which I have the pleasure of going to both of those games.
Yeah.
I got lucky and got a ticket for tonight, and we get to go Saturday with you. And very excited about this homestand here. Illinois got a chance to get 2 signature wins.
Yeah, this is a big homestand for the team. I think when Illinois fans looked at the schedule, I know I did, these were the 2 games I circled. I think most people thought Michigan State would be ranked a little bit higher. They're ranked in the 20s now, so is Illinois at 22. But the signature game is Ohio State on Saturday.
Yeah. Chance to number 1 team,
yeah.
possibly.
This is a signature win for the program and for your NCAA tournament berth.
Exactly.
You can struggle a little bit if you have that winning as number 1 on your record. That's going to help you immensely come tournament time.
Yes, it will. And you can take losses on the road in the Big Ten. I mean, it's a gauntlet out there.
Right.
They play Big Ten basketball. Illinois shot lights out at Iowa, which normally they play, don't play very well at Iowa.
Right.
So it's just kind of hit and miss right now. Everybody's getting beat up in the Big Ten.
Right.
Other than Ohio State at this point,
Yeah.
which Purdue lost the other night, and Michigan State obviously, and it's like the Big East gauntlet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You go every single night, you're playing a ranked team.
Yeah. I mean, this is a tough conference. I think most people have come to believe that the Big Ten and the Big East are the 2 power conferences this year. Ohio State's kind of taken the lead in that, but I think there's a lot of depth in this conference.
There is.
You got teams like Purdue, Michigan State, Illinois, Wisconsin, even Penn State. Penn State's not a bad team. If you look at the conference's depth, any team you go on the road, I don't know if you can go into that place expecting to win.
There's that possibility of losing every single night that
Right.
you go out and play. It doesn't even matter if you're at home or not. Michigan State could show up tonight, shoot lights out, and beat Illinois at home.
Right.
Same thing with Ohio State. Ohio State is loaded. We talked
Right.
about that. But Illinois here in the next few weeks had to be more consistent. They need more consistent play, I believe, out of the bigs. Mike Davis,
Right.
Mike Tisdale, which a lot of people say the same thing. Mike Davis at Wisconsin the other day fouled out with, had 5 fouls, 4 points, and 1 rebound.
Yeah.
And just non-existent on the floor. Poor Mike Tisdale just cannot stay out of foul trouble.
Yeah.
And it's because of slow footwork. It is. I mean, he's just not as
Right.
athletic as other big guys, and that's what you get with a guy that's 7 feet tall. But at the same time, he hasn't been hitting shots like he started out the year.
Right.
Like we've come to know from Mike Tisdale, that little pick and pop that Bruce Weber likes to roll. They haven't been running that efficiently.
Right.
Dimitri McCamey's been as consistent as you can get. The other day at Wisconsin, showed a lot of leadership. I thought from the team was down, not a lot of time left, and he just kept attacking the basket and the free throw line. He couldn't hit. He was ice cold, but he went to the line and got his points. You know what I mean? And that to me is the maturing of Demetri McCamey. He's finally there. He's finally that leader. He's finally consistent, playing consistently. DJ Richardson's kind of went cold here in the last couple games, and Illinois just not firing on all cylinders.
Right. I think another key when you look at this team is the freshmen and how they'll progress as this year goes on. I think this is a big week for Jeremy and Myers. Coming into this year, everyone thought this was the year for Illinois. There was two main reasons for that: the senior leadership of Mike Davis, Mike Tisdale, and Demetri McCamey, but also the freshmen Jeremy Richmond and Myers Leonard. Now Jeremy, obviously he set out the other day, but I think this is a key week for him. He knows coming in against the #1 team in the country and a big home game against Michigan State are going to be key for him, not only for this team, but his potential draft stock down the road. And I think Myers Leonard knows that going against Jared Sullinger, he's talked about that before, that he circled this game as a key game for him, as a challenge to go against Jared Sullinger, the best big man in the country. So I think their production over the next week and the rest of this year is going to be very key for them.
Yeah, Myers Leonard, I believe, brings added athleticism to an already athletic starting five, other than Mike Tisdale. And he's a good, you can't ask for, most teams don't have another 7-footer coming off the bench for him. And Myers Leonard, he doesn't pick up his fouls the same way Mike Tisdale does. He's athletic enough, quick enough, moves his feet to stay with big men. Most of his time he's caught out of position on a guard or something like that, and that's how a lot of times how he picks up his fouls. And I keep saying this, bull in a china shop when he gets in, which again is awesome. I would much rather put the reins on a kid than have to prod a kid. You know what I mean? So he is forming his own identity there at Illinois and how he's going to play, and I think he has real upside there at Illinois to be a very good player for them.
Right. Now, I think one of the keys we've looked at as something we've identified for next year is the point guard position. What are your feelings on who you think is going to be the point man for next year?
Well, we've talked about it a lot, and we don't know the answer, and I'd like to, but it's just kind of